Hey, my brothers, it's Bill Carter coming to you on a windy day here in tropical Ohio. Today, I want to talk to you about something that I've talked about before, but it's something that, again, is becoming increasingly present in our world: artificial intelligence, and specifically, its growing use in generating Masonic content. Now, let's be honest. AI is, in a lot of ways, an extraordinary tool. It can help us to organize our ideas and assist with research, and it's really great at summarizing history. I'd even say that for a busy Mason that's trying to prepare a presentation or organize his thoughts, tools like this can be incredibly helpful. But we got to be careful about something. Freemasonry was never meant to be automated. We know it's a system of moral and spiritual growth that depends on something deeply human, and that's reflection and transformation. The lessons of the craft are not meant to be downloaded like software updates. They're meant to be earned slowly through contemplation, through fellowship, through service, and through the quiet labor of improving oneself. And that is where the danger lies. If we begin to rely on artificial intelligence to generate our Masonic reflections and our education, even our inspirational social media posts, we risk replacing something sacred with something synthetic. Because you see, a computer can assemble words, but it can't live a Masonic life. It can describe our brotherhood, but it can't feel it. And while it may be great at summarizing history, it cannot understand the weight of tradition that rests on the shoulders of every Mason who enters a lodge room. The great insights of Freemasonry don't come from algorithms. They come from sitting in a lodge with your brothers, hearing the ceremonies again and again, wrestling with its meanings, and discussing it with our members. Eventually, we discover that those symbols have begun to change us. We discover that transformation cannot be outsourced. I invite you for a minute to think about some of the great Masonic luminaries throughout history. We know their names, men like Albert Pike or Manly P. Hall. One of my favorites, W.L. Wilmshurst, or even Albert Mackey, the one that did the encyclopedias, countless others. Their writings were not produced by systems that predict words based on probability. They were produced by lives devoted to study and reflection and experience. They didn't write because they had information, but because they had insight. And insight is something that artificial intelligence cannot manufacture. Now listen, that doesn't mean that AI has no place in our work. You know, I've seen some absolutely brilliant things generated. I think of one brother who creates music using artificial intelligence. AI can generate music. But make no mistake, that brother writes the lyrics. He writes the insights. Those are his work. And he uses artificial intelligence simply to embellish by adding music to the insights that he has created. He uses artificial intelligence like they're working tools of the craft. And it's useful when used properly. Think about that for a second. A square helps us to measure and verify. Compasses helps us draw boundaries. A chisel helps us to shape the rough stone. In this same way, AI can help us to organize ideas, can help us to locate historical references. It can even help us to refine our grammar. But But the stone itself, the work of shaping character and expressing the wisdom of Masonry, still has to be done by a Mason, because Freemasonry isn't just about producing content. It's about producing men of consequence, men who think deeply and speak honestly, men whose words carry weight because they arise from a life lived according to the principles of the craft. If we allow AI to replace that process, we might gain efficiency. We might even gain followers. We might gain likes. But we will lose authenticity. And authenticity is the very soul of Freemasonry. So here's a simple principle that I would offer. Use AI as a tool, but never, never let it become your voice. Let it help you to gather ideas, but do the hard work of thinking for yourself. Let it help you refine your writing, but make sure that the insight behind the words is truly yours. Don't pass it off when it's AI that generated it. Because the real work of Masonry is not writing better blog posts. The real work of Masonry is becoming a better man. And that, my brothers, is something that no machine will ever be able to do for us. Thank you, my brothers. Keep studying. Keep reflecting. Keep building that temple not made with hands.